Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're being comfy and cozy like always, and I just wanted to do a 2024 recap, going over my 2024 vision board with you guys and just kind of talking about the year. I'm going to do, my next video is going to be a 2025 vision board, showing you mine, explaining it, walking you through it, just kind of talking about the new year. I feel like with it being the beginning of January, I want to do a few, tributes to last year and then excited for this new year. Don't mind the background. Obviously, I think I say this a lot, but this is our spare room. Aspen is sleeping in my room currently. So I just wanted to get this filmed for you guys. As always, don't mind the dog hair, having a lab. If you have a lab, you get it. But I'm going to put my 2024 vision board on the screen for you guys here, so that you guys can follow along with what I'm saying and what we're going through. So 2024, I feel like was a big year of just finding myself. I really feel like I did find myself in 2024, and I think it's what I needed, honestly. I'm feeling so good about 2025, and we'll talk more about that in my next video. But I don't know, this was the first year ever I was actually excited for the new year. Usually my anxiety manifests in I hate change. So New Year's is usually pretty difficult for me because it's a big change. It's a new year. There's so many expectations around the year that obviously we set on ourselves, but just hearing it from other people, hearing their expectations on themselves weighs a lot on me usually. And it does make it kind of difficult for me when the new year does come. This year though, for some reason, I had a very positive outlook on 2025. It's not like I was oh my God, I just want 2024 to be over. I think 2024 was a great year for me to, like I said, figure myself out, figure out what I like, my business, what I wanted to do. I felt like I ended 2024 in a really great place. I have a job now that I love. I still get to do my business too. And it's just amazing. I ended it with amazing people, some of the same that I went into 2024 with, and then some different. But I don't know, I'm just feeling really positive about 2025, and I have nothing but good things to say. Well, there were a few tough times in 2024 for sure, and it made me just kind of rethink my outlook on life and what I'm doing and how I want to be living. And I think that's why 2024 felt so transformative for me, because there were a lot of things that opened my eyes on, I don't have a lot of time anymore. I work 2 jobs. I have my dog who I spend a lot of time with, who I want to spend a lot of time with. So I don't have a lot of outside free time for friends and stuff like that. And so I really just took into consideration, with the limited free time that I do have, I want to make sure I'm spending it with people who, give back to me and fill my cup as well. That was a really awesome and important discovery that I made. And I just think 2024 was a great reflective year for me. That being said, I am going to go through my vision board with you guys, and we're just going to kind of chit chat about it. You guys know that I really want this YouTube channel to just be a document for me. And also along the way, if there's anything that I can share that helps someone else, then that's what I want to do. So I'm going to go through this with you guys. I have not looked at this since last year. It was my computer background. My computer broke, so I had to get a new one. So it wasn't for a little while then, but I'm excited to look back on it and see if I can make any connections anywhere. Okay, so top left, we'll start there, is just cups of coffee. And I mean, I feel like every year I manifest that, and it happens. I love coffee, literally as we speak. Right below that is a girl sitting with her dog, I'm assuming is her dog. This one looks like a really fluffy golden retriever, so I don't know, maybe Cocker Spaniel or something. Not that that matters. But I feel like this really did happen for me, because obviously in 2024 was a great year for me in the sense that I got Aspen, and she is seriously the best thing in my life. I'm not even kidding. She's everything I wanted and more. And everything that led up to me getting Aspen just pointed to signs that we were meant to be together. My thing, and something I want to work on going into 2025, is I get a lot of anxiety around decisions and change and stuff like that. So making the decision to get Aspen, because it was a sprung on me situation. It wasn't I was out looking for a dog. I mean, internally, I a pet finder every night, obviously. But the situation that happened with Aspen was very random. and very handed to me, and like another reason why it was literally meant to be. But I had a lot of anxiety about like, am I pressuring this? Like, am I making this seem like this is destiny when it's not, and stuff like that, which now being out of it, it was destiny. Like 100% I can say that with certainty. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but like the things that were happening on the back end were totally like Aspen was meant to find me and I was meant to find her. That also being said, I feel like 2024, we had some hard family news, and I just think she couldn't have come at a better time for me. I just really think we're meant to be, and I don't know where I would be without her. She's really grounded me, and she has helped my anxiety 1,000%. And I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the case for everybody, because I wouldn't want you just going out and getting a dog expecting it to cure your anxiety, because that's not the case always. For me, I literally feel like she helps ground me, and she helps me. I don't know. I literally can't even explain it, but she totally helps my anxiety. And some days I'm like, oh, I could go down. I take anxiety medication, and I'm like, some days with her, I feel like I could go down on it, when before her, I had never felt like that before. And I don't know. She really grounds me. She helps me when I'm having a tough time mentally. She's so positive and has the best outlook. And I think it's made me have a better outlook on life in general. And I don't know, I'm just so appreciative of her. And like this picture, it's just funny when you look back on these things, and like if I had known a year ago that I was going to have the dog of my dreams and be so happy with her, I don't know, putting this on my vision board and then it happening is, I love when that happens. Below that is just like a businesswoman. Obviously, I feel like I've made a lot of changes in my business in 2024, changes that are for the better. I'm really finding, and I'm still working on finding what works best for me in this business, in this industry. You know, I went from walks to just solo training to now I'm opening a new thing maybe. So make sure you're following Spotted Snout. Not opening a new thing, but starting a new thing with it. And I just think I'm really trying to find what works best for me and how I want to work as a business owner and as a dog trainer and as a pet professional, quote unquote, and how I want to be there for people and how I want to show up to people and make sure that I'm showing up as my best self. Underneath that is just someone doing yoga. I did a ton of yoga in 2024. Before I got Aspen, I was going so much. When I got Aspen, obviously I fell off of it a little bit, being a dog mom, especially with an 8-week-old puppy. When I brought her home, it comes with changes and it comes with difficulties, obviously. And I really just promoted my time into training her and being there for her and bonding with her, because that was important to me. Now, ending 2024, going into 2025, I'm back on the yoga grind. I love bar workouts and Pilates and stuff like that. And so 2025, I'm hoping there'll be more of that as well. Next to that is a beach. I was like, did I go on vacation in 2024? But I went to Florida, I believe, when my parents were down there, and the beach just really revives me and like makes me feel rejuvenated, whatever. After I go and I just take like a week or a few days or whatever and sit on a beach and read, I genuinely come back feeling better. And I think I just want to, I mean, that was on my vision board for last year, but going into this year too, you'll see I also have a picture of a beach on this year's vision board. I do think it's a good way for me to revive myself and kind of re-inspire myself and just have a few days to relax. And so I think that's what that represents for me more this year, is just relaxing, focusing on time for me. Above that is some skincare, which I did not get more into in 2024, I'm gonna be honest. But self-care, I feel like I was saying, 2024 was a big year for me to find out me and who am I and what do I love and who do I love and how do I love. Like, I feel like I learned a lot about myself, and so that's how it kind of manifested instead of like skincare. Above that is quote, it says, I am mine before I am ever anyone else's. And I don't know, I guess the whole theme for 2024 is just I really found myself, and I was really able to work through some things that I needed to. And if you guys have been watching me for a while, I went through a really bad breakup like 2-3 years ago, whatever. And I feel like it took me a long time to heal, but I feel like the last year in 2024, I genuinely am healed. Like I feel good again. I feel myself. The stuff that used to weigh on me from that, I feel like is not gone. It's always there. Anything you go through is always going to be there. but I think I've healed in a way that I'm ready to move on. So 2025 is about moving on, moving past. 2024, finding myself. Above that is reading and a cup of coffee. Again, I just feel like self-care was really important to me and is still something I want to be better about in 2025. 2024, I found myself, I also kind of threw myself into things. So I kind of lost the self-care aspect of things. And that's, I think in 2025, I want to bring back to that. The beginning of 2024, I was very into self-care, very into reading and, having my moments and whatever. But like 2025, I told myself I'm going to go into it. I want to journal more. I want to do, things that just take time for me. And I do think that is like really important. And I still want to do it going into this year. Above that, which is so funny now that I'm seeing it, is a quote, "You don't grow when you're uncomfortable." And I literally put that exact quote on my vision board this year. I don't think it's the exact picture. I'm not positive, but the exact quote. And I just think this year I want to focus on that a lot more. It's so easy to stay in your comfort zone and not branch out of it because it's scary. And that's where my anxiety goes bad, is 1, making decisions, 2, change, and 3, what if? If I go do this thing, what if people think I'm weird? Who cares? If I go say that to someone, what if they're like, "Oh my God, this girl's crazy"? Who cares? Seriously, who cares? At the end of the day, it's what you think of yourself. And I'm finally at a place where I'm comfortable with myself. So I want to put myself out there and I want to be uncomfortable. And you truly learn and grow when you're uncomfortable. And I have to remind myself of that all the time. And I think that's always something to work on, but especially this year, it's something I want to do. Last year, would I say I made myself uncomfortable a lot? In some ways, in some aspects, yes. In others, not as much as I could have. So I think it's still something to work and grow on. Underneath that is just roses. And I think that ties into the whole self-care aspect. Underneath that, an acai bowl. I think just prioritizing eating and doing what I love. I love acai bowls. Now I will say I fell off of that towards the end of 2024 because my favorite acai bowl place around me closed. So I didn't go there a ton. And 2025, I want to be better about cooking for myself. You guys saw that I was doing pretty well actually in 2024 doing the cooking stuff on here. 2025 is going to be better. We're going to get back into it. I want to actually be cooking for myself, actually be making recipes, making stuff up if I want to. And I feel like I started to put a lot of pressure on the cooking stuff by the end of 2024. But if you look back on my cooking videos specifically, it was so nonchalant in the beginning. And I think I need to go back to that. When I start putting pressure on things, I find myself running away from it and being like, "Oh my God, it's too much." So I think I just need to go back to that. Underneath that was just cows. And I think I just wanted more self-care. I'm just going to leave it at that. Underneath that is cooking. And again, I was doing really well with cooking in the beginning of 2024, kind of fell off of it towards the end. 2025, we're getting back into it. No pressure. We're just going to do it and just find what I love. I think I want to find more foods that I love too. Next to that was somebody, it looks like they're about to go on a run, sneakers, water bottle, whatever. I definitely have been running a lot more. And in 2024, it really got me back into it. I don't run long distances. I'm not a marathon girly, although I'll never say never, maybe someday. I like my, 1 mile run. I try to do it every other day. And I feel good by that. And I just in my head, keeping up my endurance in some way. Those of you who know me know that I actually ran track and field in high school. And I kind of miss how it made me feel. And so that's why I wanted to get back into running and kind of give myself that feeling again. At the top, there is a little house. I did not move out yet. That is going to be on my 2025 bucket list as well. I just think I put a lot of pressure on myself to being a 23-year-old still living at home, and my parents are totally okay with it and they want me to stay as long as I need. And so I think it's great if you have parents who support you in that way. I do pay, I pay to be here. I'm not just taking advantage or anything like that. But I do think it is something that I want to do, and I think it would be a good next step for me personally. And it's not even a family, I don't know. I'm appreciative that they let me stay for so long. I do think to grow, I need to be uncomfortable, and maybe that means trying to move out. And it's hard now that I have Aspen. I will not just take her from this house and put her in an apartment because she's not used to that now. And to me, she's my daughter. So I want to give her the best life ever. And I don't want to move into an apartment So I don't know, still figuring some things out, but just manifesting it and just like, taking it and moving forward and kind of seeing what that means for me in the future. Next to that is somebody reading, and there's like their dog's paws in the picture. Again, I got Aspen this year, so one of the best years ever. Underneath that is a passport, and I did not go out of the country this year, which was my first year since, the past like 2-3 years before that, I went out of the country. And I do think it's important to travel and see the world and experience different cultures and stuff like that. That has become something that's super important to me. Now that I have Aspen, and since I got Aspen in June, it kind of, obviously when she was a baby, I wasn't going to just leave her and travel. And I do think having a dog makes traveling, that much harder, just because there's another aspect of your life you have to figure out. I want to travel more with Aspen. That's super important to me. To not only do I want to see stuff, but I want to show her stuff. Like, I want to show her the world and experience these things together, because we're a pack. Like, we are a deal. But I do think it's okay as a dog parent to take time for yourself as well. So I did not do this last year, and I'm trying to think about options for this year. I have a wonderful mom who I know would take great care of my dog. I don't want to leave her for that long, so it will never be like me traveling for more than 2 weeks at the most without Aspen, because that's just not something that I want to do. But just trying to like figure out and think about some things. Next to that is a cup of coffee and like a wellness journal. I will say last year, and I feel like the year before, journaling became a very negative thing for me. When I was going to therapy, everything we were talking about, she was like, well, when you feel these negative emotions, like anger, whatever, before just taking it and reacting, write it down in a journal. And so journaling became a very negative thing for me. I was only ever journaling then when I was mad or upset or whatever. So it became very negative. So going into 2025, that is something I want to work on and take and spin it in a more positive light, because I think that's important. And I think journaling could help. Not even does it have to help. Like, it's just good to take that 15 minutes for yourself during the day, 15-20 minutes, and just write. It doesn't have to be negative. I'm trying to change my mindset on it going forward. Underneath that is like a dog boutique. I did not open a dog boutique. I went to a lot of dog boutiques, and this time I was shopping for my own dog. But that is a dream of mine to have one. Who knows? I was actually close. You guys don't even know this. I was actually close to opening something similar. Stuff fell through and it didn't work out. But like, honestly, it's funny to see that, because it kind of brought me back to like months ago when like something was maybe happening. So that's kind of crazy. Next to that is a plane. Like I said, I didn't travel a ton, but I did get my dog. So like, pros and cons. Next to that is a girl walking her dog. I get to walk my own dog now. And it's one of my favorite parts of the day, taking Aspen and just doing stuff with her. And that manifested very well. Above that, I attract positive, healthy relationships. I feel like not in a romantic relationship way, but in a friendship way, this really came true for me. I ended 2024 with some of the best people that I've ever met. And some new, some that I've had forever, but I feel closer than ever to some people. And I'm very happy with how I ended 2024. And I feel very filled, which I feel like is not always the case for me. And in the past, that hasn't been the case. So it feels good to like feel full. Above that is a camera. I did okay with vlogging. I want to do it a lot more, and I want to be better about it. And I'm like trying not to put pressure on it, because like I said, then I run. But it is something going forward that I want to do better at. I think the majority of 2024, I did pretty well. Once I got Aspen, I fell off, because my whole world just revolved around her then, and I was training her, and having a puppy is hard. Don't let anyone tell you it's not. It is hard, and it is what you make of it though. So I just spent a lot of my time, with her and just raising her, and I'm thankful that I did, because of the way she's turning out is better than I could have imagined. So it was worth it. We're going to be better. Above that, drinking more water. I go back and forth with the water thing, because some days I'm great. I drink a ton of water, and then other days I'm not very good at it and I drink too much coffee. So still something I need to work on for sure. And next to that is just somebody holding a dog. Again, very full circle, because I got my best friend this year. So that was my 2024 vision board. I hope you guys enjoyed like going through that with me. It's really fun to look back on those things, and I encourage you guys to look back on, if you did vision boards, if you wrote down goals somewhere, look back on them and just reflect on it with yourself, or make a video, because it's fun. And I just think it's important to do those things and really see and appreciate a year for what it was. it's so easy to just kind of go through life and not even give a second thought to these things. But I do think it is a good practice to go through and reflect on the year and see what you want to change for the next year. I used to hate New Year's resolutions because I felt like they brought along a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, which was just me making that pressure and stress. I think it happens to a lot of people, but just make it lighthearted. Just reflect on a year without it meaning that you had a horrible year. Like, you're just reflecting. And as you saw from my vision board, not everything did I hit and not everything did I do. And that's okay. You don't have to. And it's just about setting goals for yourself. I do think I want to this year, like, kind of keep going back to my vision board and setting my intentions for the whole year and just reflecting on that and stuff. But I hope you guys have the best 2025. I hope your 2024 was incredible or full of growth. It can be both. It can be either one. It can be both. But I just am excited for 2025 and going through 2025 with you guys. And the next video will be me going through my 2025 vision board just real quick with you guys and just chatting a little bit. I want to do just more chatting with you guys. That being said, please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at meganbrewer62. If there's more things you guys want to see from me, please comment them down below. DM me on Instagram. We'll figure stuff out. If you want to follow along Aspen's journey, follow her on Instagram and TikTok at Life of Aspen the Lab. I am trying to just show more of her life because it's my life. And I love her so much. And I think also being a trainer, I have some things I could say and I just wasn't, and I regret it. And I want to go forward and just show more of us and her and life with a dog and being a dog mom, because that's a huge part of me. So you'll see a lot of that on Aspen's account. My account is more my life, my friends, stories, stuff like that, work, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.